Chapter 7: Qualitative Research Methods. This chapter reviews the following elements: the underlying principles of naturalistic work, ethical concerns, data gathering techniques, data analysis, tools and methods, developing grounded theory, ensuring analytic integrity, and the presentation of findings.
The underlying principles of naturalistic work.
Naturalistic work seeks out all aspects of that complexity on the grounds that they are essential to understanding the behavior of which they are part. And in the critical reality, this builds from a philosophical foundation in that it requires research to explain the human condition more holistically, while in the critical realism, this provides additional insights. It asserts the separation of the physical and conceptual is impossible.
The naturalism as a research paradigm.
When defined as a research paradigm, rather than as a research method, naturalism is an approach that posits reality as holistic, based in the perceptions of individuals and etc., continually changing. Qualitative work that relies entirely or heavily on interviews lacks the context of action and observable behavior that are commonly identified as the justification for etching the large random sample.
The naturalism in LIS research, qualitative research, is usually most useful when the information interactions concerned are so new, so complex, that researchers are working to understand.
The role of mixed or multi-method research, in some cases, provides the necessary array of data, posits as a false dichotomy the absolute, forced choice of either qualitative or quantitative methods considered as third paradigm. It also deliberate recognition of a full spectrum of the externally and internally realized phenomena.
There are 4 basic principles guide mixed method design.
1. Determine and adhere to the theoretical impetus underpinning the project. 2. Work to account for the impact of the method that brought into the primary methodological thrust. 3. Drive the design decisions from the assumptions of the base method. And 4. Employ only the essential data sets.
Now, let's have the ethical concerns. As in any research in loving human beings, a number of ethical concerns demand careful attention.
The data gathering techniques is the act of gathering data for a qualitative study is an involving process rooted in ongoing analysis. It involves more than obtaining discrete units of information.
In sampling, no single formula provides the correct sample size for a qualitative study.
The depth, complexity, and richness of the data are critical, but identifying a representative sample is not even a consideration since the purpose is to understand.
In LIS research, the following methods may be most useful: the maximum variety sampling, the stream case sampling, intensity sampling, and the snowball sampling.
The observation is a broad category data gathering. The primary advantage of observation is the opportunity it provides to determine how well the observed and self-report data match. Interviews are a valuable qualitative method for researchers who make effective choices along the continuum between structured AG and structured interviews.
What is a probe questions?
This explore the unknown background of the statement while clarifying questions elucidate details or factors of a statement in order to further explicate it. These are the types of probe questions:
the continuation, elaboration, clarification, steering probes, sequence probes, evidence probes, and slant probes.
In the data analysis tools and methods, there are 2 principles of qualitative data analysis. The discourse analysis is made, but Michel Foucault. It has the capacity to track historically the origins of the challenges to mainstream ideas, and to illustrate marginalized ideas. The constant comparative method of content analysis, codified by Glaser and Strauss, is generally recognized as one of the most effective aims of qualitative content analysis. The constant comparative method was described in 4 stages: comparing incidents, integrating categories, the limitations of the theory and writings theory. In coding data, it lies at the heart of the constant comparative method in that units of data are compared to each other in terms of their DIT into the developing coding schemes.
There are 3 different types of coding. 1. Open coding. 2. Axial coding. 3. Selective coding.
Coding techniques manage all of these codes. Memos and data researcher used to keep separate items on note cards that could then be organized and reorganized as needed. Moving from codes to theory. The process of moving from coding to theory or pattern generation is ongoing, but when saturation has been reached, it is necessary to leave the field and begin the analysis. Ensuring integrity is no more difficult for naturalistic works than it is for positivist work, but again, the means differs. As LIS scholars lead the information community development of the information system and service for users, they must maintain a solid grounding in the purpose behind their work.
Qualitative research methods enrich and augment the toolbox of LIS research approaches.